Melissa Carter stood behind the counter at the McDonald's where she had worked for nearly 4 years, the scent of fries and burgers wafting through the air. It was a busy Friday evening and she was juggling orders while keeping an eye on the clock, counting down the minutes until she could head home to her two young children, Mia and Ethan. Life as a single mother was a constant balancing act, and every shift was a step closer to making ends meet. Melissa's day had begun at dawn, her alarm ringing out like a siren, dragging her from the remnants of sleep. She had spent the early hours preparing breakfast for her kids, a quick scramble of eggs and toast before rushing them off to school. With a smile plastered on her face, she reminded them to be good and to help their teachers, even as the weight of her own worries pressed heavily on her shoulders. The rent was due soon, and the grocery budget was stretched thin. She had learned to stretch every dollar, but some days it felt like she was grasping at straws. That evening, as the dinner rush peaked, Melissa noticed a woman standing at the counter, her brow furrowed in concentration. Karoline Leavitt, a press secretary known for her work in local politics, was scanning the menu with a distracted air. Melissa could tell that something was off. As Karoline finally approached the register, her shoulders slumped and she sighed deeply. "Hi there, what can I get for you?" Melissa asked, her voice bright despite the fatigue pulling at her limbs. Karoline hesitated, her eyes darting over the menu items. "I'll have a Big Mac meal, please." "No, wait, make it a quarter pounder. And a small coffee." "Got it," Melissa said, ringing up the order. "That'll be $8.75. Karoline's face fell, and she fumbled through her purse, her expression shifting from hope to despair. "I'm so sorry. I thought I had enough cash. I must have miscalculated." She looked up, embarrassment flooding her cheeks. "Can I just get the drink instead?" Melissa's heart sank. She could see the weariness in Karoline's eyes, the burden of a long day weighing down on her. In that moment, Melissa remembered her mother's teachings about kindness. Her late mother had always said that even the smallest act of generosity could change someone's day. Without thinking, Melissa reached into her pocket and pulled out a crumpled $5 bill. "It's okay," she said, her voice steady. "I got this. Just enjoy your meal." Karoline's eyes widened in disbelief. "You don't have to do that. I can come back and pay you." "No, really," Melissa insisted, her smile unwavering. "It's just a meal. You look like you could use it more than I do right now." With a grateful smile, Karoline accepted the gesture, her face softening as she thanked Melissa profusely. The transaction completed, Melissa handed over the food, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. It was a small act, but it felt significant, a thread connecting them in that fleeting moment. Little did she know that simple act of kindness would unravel a series of events that would change her life forever. The following day, Melissa was called into the manager's office. Her heart raced as she entered, the familiar sight of the office suddenly feeling ominous. "Melissa, we need to talk about yesterday," her manager said, his tone serious. "I've received complaints about you giving away food. We have policies for a reason." Melissa's stomach dropped. "But I was just trying to help. I understand, but we can't have employees giving away food. It's against company policy. I'm afraid I have to let you go." The words hit her like a punch to the gut. "You're firing me over this?" "It's not just this incident, Melissa. It's a pattern. You've been warned before about being too lenient with customers." Melissa felt the tears prick at her eyes, a mix of frustration and disbelief coursing through her. "I was just trying to be kind. I didn't think it would be a problem." "I'm sorry," her manager said, his expression unwavering. "You can collect your things." As she walked out of the store for the last time, the weight of the world pressed down on her. She had always been a hard worker, and now, with 2 kids to care for and no job, she felt lost. The reality of her situation hit her like a tidal wave. How would she pay the bills? How would she keep food on the table? The thought of telling Mia and Ethan that she had lost her job made her heart ache. Days turned into weeks, and Melissa struggled to find a new job. She applied everywhere, but with limited experience and the burden of being a single mother, opportunities seemed scarce. The little savings she had were dwindling, and the stress of her situation began to seep into her parenting. She tried to hide her worries from the kids, but they sensed the change in her. The way her laughter was quieter, and her smiles didn't reach her eyes. Then, one afternoon, as she scrolled through her phone in a rare moment of downtime, she stumbled upon a post that made her heart race. It was a viral video of Karoline Leavitt, the woman she had helped at McDonald's. Karoline was speaking passionately about the importance of kindness, recounting the story of how a stranger had paid for her meal when she was having a rough day. She emphasized how small acts of generosity could ripple out and create a wave of goodwill. The video had garnered thousands of views and comments, praising the unknown woman who had shown such compassion. Melissa's heart soared and sank simultaneously. She recognized herself in Karoline's story, the kindness that had sparked a connection, but she also felt a pang of fear. Would anyone know it was her? Would they connect the dots and realize she was the one who had lost her job because of that moment? As the days passed, the story continued to circulate online, and Melissa's life took a turn she never expected. One morning, as she was preparing breakfast for Mia and Ethan, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from a local news outlet asking if they could interview her about the incident. They had heard her story and wanted to feature her alongside Karoline's. Melissa's heart raced. Was this a good idea? Would it bring her more trouble, or could it be a chance to turn her life around? After a long night of deliberation, she decided to go for it. Sitting in front of the camera, she spoke candidly about her experience, her struggles as a single mother, and the values her mother had instilled in her. She talked about the importance of kindness and how a small gesture could make a significant impact on someone's life. As she shared her story, she felt a sense of liberation, as if the weight of her struggles was being lifted, even if just a little. The interview aired, and the response was overwhelming. People resonated with Melissa's story, and soon, donations began pouring in from strangers who wanted to help. They set up a crowdfunding campaign to support her and her children, and within days, the contributions surpassed her wildest dreams. For the first time in a long time, Melissa felt a glimmer of hope. She could breathe a little easier, knowing that her children would have food on the table and a roof over their heads. As the weeks unfolded, opportunities began to arise. A local nonprofit organization reached out, offering Melissa a position to help run community outreach programs focused on kindness and support for struggling families. They had seen her story and wanted her to be a part of something bigger, to inspire others with her journey. It was a job that aligned perfectly with her values, and she accepted it with open arms. Through her work, Melissa found a sense of purpose she hadn't realized she was missing. She organized events that encouraged acts of kindness within the community, creating a ripple effect that spread far beyond her expectations. People began to come together, sharing their stories and uplifting one another. Melissa's heart swelled with pride as she witnessed the connections forming, the way her small act of kindness had sparked a movement. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt, who had become a friend and ally, continued to advocate for Melissa. She used her platform to highlight Melissa's story, pushing for local businesses to hire single mothers and promote kindness in the workplace. Karoline's influence helped create a network of support for women like Melissa, who were often overlooked and undervalued. Their friendship blossomed, a testament to the power of connection through shared experiences. As the months passed, Melissa's life transformed in ways she had never imagined. She moved into a better apartment, one with enough space for Mia and Ethan to play and grow. The financial strain that had once consumed her began to ease, and she found joy in the little moments, family game nights, baking cookies with her kids, and sharing stories of kindness with them. One day, as they sat together at the kitchen table, Mia looked up from her coloring book and asked, "Mom, why did you help that lady at McDonald's?" Melissa smiled, feeling the warmth of nostalgia wash over her. "Because, sweetheart, sometimes people just need a little kindness. My mom always taught me that a small act can change someone's whole day." Mia nodded thoughtfully, her eyes shining with understanding. "I want to be like you, Mom. I want to help people too." Melissa's heart swelled with pride. She knew that her mother's legacy of kindness was living on through her children. The values she had instilled in Melissa were now being passed down, creating a cycle of compassion that would continue for generations. As the sun set that evening, casting a warm glow over their home, Melissa reflected on her journey. She had faced adversity and hardship, but through it all, she had discovered the profound impact of kindness. It was a lesson her mother had taught her, one that had come full circle in the most unexpected way. With renewed hope and purpose, Melissa embraced the future, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She understood now that even the smallest acts of generosity could create ripples of change, and she was determined to keep that spirit alive in her family and community.